Hey guys, how are you doing? Today is April 21, another Friday. And then there is, I'm not trying to be touching right on this subject, right? Because um, things will pass eventually one day, right? But when it comes, then you become quite touching because at the time when there is in Hong Kong a lot of people that is going to before then is you borrow the video cassette, right? You're not borrowing the DVD. You borrow the video cassette. We have a cassette player, right? A big one, a big one. And then later on, then it changed to CD and then VCD and then DVD. And then we bought the DVD machine, DVD player, and then connect it to the TV. At the time, the television is very big, right? And that's the time that just when I came out to work after I finished studying of the university, right? Then I came out to work at the time. Then is the most red time of all the people in Hong Kong is borrowing the VCD or DVD at the time, right? So and just that reason, so Netflix rise up. Just is because of that reason, Netflix rise up, right? And then now came to the day that the era ended. So this end of this September, Netflix will sending out the last DVD, and then the age is over. All right, so I'm share with you some of my experience then, right, in the next few screenshot, right? So I'm not trying to be touching, right, but that is what I can hardly forget, right? Because at that time is a lot of my colleagues is working on that. Just at the lunchtime, then they go out to that DVD shops and then to lend the DVD, right? To borrow the DVD and then to return the DVD, something like that, right? A lot of movie then they need to watch at night, right? And they sleep very few because they have to finish the movie because they borrow the DVD, right? And they pay that, and then we still remember then you can pay for the monthly. You can pay for monthly or you can pay for 1 year. And then it's been very hot for about 7 years, 5 or 7 years, I can't remember. But that is the good old day for us, right? Because we're still young at the time, right? So we will share in the next screenshot, right? So our Falcon portfolio been not changing for 59%, and our portfolio been 51 months already. That means past 4 years. And then yesterday, because of Tesla, so Dow Jones and Nasdaq have been dropping, but not a lot, just about 100 points, right? So for any subject then you want to discover and you want to discuss, then you can leave your message under the YouTube, or you can send me the email by usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. Of course, today then we will take a look on the just launched financial report of Netflix. I just changed my microphone because there's a small construction in the upper floor, but not very loudly. But I changed my microphone to the desktop one. That means directional. So the background sound may be not very noticeable, right? So this is the short video. Then I just watched it from Wall Street Journal this morning, right, on Netflix. And then you will see that there is a lot of DVD there, right? And then they still keep on sending out for the DVD, right? Because we know that America is big. So you may want to still borrow some DVD because you can find it on the website, and then they will still take your order and then send out the DVD to you. But then this will eventually come to an end. end of this September. Then Netflix will send out the last DVD on end of September this year, and then this is the end of an era, right? A little bit touching because they know that it will actually it should come 5 or 6 years before. Because now, do you have any friends that still borrowing a physical DVD? No, right? Everything is from the website, right? From the payer, and then even though you don't need to save it because you can access it anytime from the YouTube, from whatever media, all the media, very easy for you to click and then listen to a song and then watch for an old movie, right? Especially then you can subscribe for YouTube, you can subscribe for Netflix, Hulu, whatever, right? You can watch a lot of things, and yes, the things are too much for you to watch, right? Unless you specifically want to find one or two program, one or two movie, then you may need to check it out, right, on the physical DVD. Otherwise, then just then, right? So we'll talk about it, right, in after few screenshots. So yesterday, because of Netflix, then the Dow Jones been dropped it for 110 points, and Nasdaq also dropped it for 97 points. So yesterday, the performance from Tesla, everything is bad, right? The gross profit rate is bad, and then the cutting the price is bad, right? And then a lot of capital expenditure for building up the factory is bad, something like that. Everything is bad. So Tesla's net income been dropped at more than 20% from last year, and then the stock price been dropped at after the market it dropped at 9.7 points, something like that. So this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio. Then we are keeping for 51 months. Then we are keeping the increment on 59%. And then this is US 10-year Treasury yield. And then I think that for coming few months, then you won't see a lot of fluctuation on that yield, 3.5 something. Although Fed will still put up the interest rate maybe for a quarter percent, because now is the recession, right? So I don't think that it will shoot up to 4% again in half the year. So we go through some headlines first, right? And then China's central bank expect a U-shaped U-turn. That means a U-turn in the CP, consumer prices, which I don't think so, right? Because now is the stagnation in China. That means the unemployment is very high, especially for young people. Right, so actually a lot of people then they lost a job, or they, even though they still have a job, their income is greatly reduced, so they will not spend a lot, or they will spend less, much less and less as before. And then the saving maybe not, because they can just earn what they needed for the normal living. So then how can you expect a U-shaped recovery turn in the consumer prices, right? It's just like Japan before. No inflation, right? The people is not willing to spend money. Well, I've been in Japan few times, and then about 10 years before or 12 years before I've been to Japan, right? The people is very saving. They eat the cup noodles in the MTR, and then a lot of people just take the cup noodles outside for pork. At the time is about 9 o'clock at night, so they are just eating the, and then what they eat is quite not expensive, right? And then just normal casual wearing, something like that, right? So China is going to a very similar situation as previous 20 or 30 years of Japan before, right? That's called stagflation. That means no economic growth, but what you needed in your daily life is keep more expensive and more expensive. That is stagflation, right? Actually, it's quite dangerous, right? It's not potentially dangerous. It's really dangerous because I watched that video, a very short one. Maybe 1.5 minutes after the launching of Elon Musk's SpaceX Starship, and then it exploded. It quickly exploded, but very lucky there is no passenger inside. It's just a child, right? But it's very, very, very dangerous, right? If any people inside, then sure will die, right? So I strongly recommend Elon Musk and it to greatly aware of the potentially danger, right? That is very dangerous, right? So and then he said that's okay. I don't think that is okay, right? It's very dangerous, right? And then President Joe Biden will announce from the news will announce for the re-election in 25 of April. That means this month. Then if then he been re-elected for the U.S. president for the next, and then now he is 81 years old. All right, 2 years later is 83. I think that he may be the oldest president among the U.S. history, right? Am I right? I think so, right? Because after he finished, then he may be 88 or 89. I'm quite sure he will be the oldest president of U.S. among the past history, right? So we come back to the Netflix DVD, right? I still remember when I just came out to work. There's an colleague. He is a fat guy. He's a fat guy, but he's very tall, right? Like 1.8 meters, 1.8 or 1.82 meters high. A big guy, right? He's called Michael. And then he always then when we do the lunch, when we have the lunch, right? Then he always go to a DVD shop nearby, and then he return the DVD and then borrow the DVD. And then when he go to the DVD shops and then he join us the lunch later, maybe 10 minutes, something like that. And then he said that today then I will only sleep for 3 hours. I said, why? He said that I have to finish 2 or more DVD movies tonight, then something like that, right? Then at that time it's very fire hot. Right? A lot of people in Hong Kong is watching DVD and then borrowing DVD. Then we all know that why there is Netflix. It's because then one of their friends or customers who have been fired for late return of the DVD. So they established Netflix. If I remember well, then Netflix become online is 2000 something, and become hot after Steve Jobs, after the iPhone, right? And then it become very hot because then you can watch it on your phone. The same happens to YouTube, right? But at that time, there's a lot of people in Hong Kong or all over the world then borrow the DVD and then return the DVD and then join the membership monthly and then per year, something like that, right? So this is over. This is over. Sooner or later, it's over. Right. So this is what it is. But I still remember those good old days because you're still young, right? Just 20 something at the time, right? Just when you became 40 years old, you will not think you're still young, but you will think that you are still not very old, right? This is what my feeling before, right? But just when you become 50 and then past the middle of 50, then you really think that you are old, right? you are stepping into the old age, right? And then okay, just few years later I become 60, right? Then 100% become old, right? Something like that, right? So this is one of the time that is I miss most, because just came out to work very young, right? I'm the youngest one at the time when I just joined the company. I'm the youngest one in the company, right? And then one day, then I'm still thinking that one day I will be the oldest one in the company, but not happened before because my boss is older than me, something like that, right? So time flies, right? Time flies. And then we take a look on the Netflix stock price. We have the need to go through the financial statement of Netflix just launched it, because then this is the second quarter. Then Netflix is banned for the password and then put the advertisement back into the movies. I did not change my plan. That means our plan for the Netflix still is ad free, right? I will not save that $1 or $2 per month. If you need me to watch the advertisement, then I will unsubscribe, right? I subscribe Netflix because I do not want to see the advertisement, right? So we can see that for the Netflix stock price, still not good, right? Just a little bit better, right? So we took a look that this information is from the new financial report of Netflix. We can see that that is the share of willing. The share of willing of Netflix is getting worse and worse, right? You see that in UK, 99% the share of the willing of Netflix. That means they share the password. In US is 7%, right? And then I don't know why then there is no YouTube in UK. I don't know. No YouTube in UK. I don't know, right? But actually in you can subscribe for the YouTube Premium, and then there is also password sharing, right? 8% in US, right? This is the finance statement from Netflix just few days before. We can see that for the revenue, the money came in, right? You can see that I put a question mark on that because that is nearly no increment. You can see that from 1 year before, 78.68, right? This is in 1,000. That means 7.8 billion, right? And then now is 8.1. But after 1 year, that means nearly no increment. And then the forecast maybe just 1 or 2%, 8.2, 8.1 to 8.2, right? If we look at the net revenue, even more worse. You can see that the net revenue is 1.3 billion US dollar. Right? It's better than last one. It's better than last quarter, but it's still more worse than 1 year before. 1 year before is 1.38. Now it's 1.3. And then the forecast is 1.283. Even more less, right? So still not good. So nearly 3 out of 4, I put a clause of that, right? That's the revenue for the streaming in different area. The first one is in US. You can see that actually the this year's Q1 in US nearly no increment on the revenue, and then in Europe, right, it's less, 2.5 billion, right? It's not increased much. It's less than 1 year before, right? For Latin America, nearly the same, 1 billion. Only one area is better, is Asia, right? One quarter before is 0.8 billion US dollar, and then now is 0.9. Better, right? Better, even better than 1 year before. Only in Asia is better. For the as a whole, we can see that for the revenue, right? For the revenue, still okay for the first quarter, right? For the first quarter, 8.1 billion US dollar, compared with 7.8 1 year before. But if we take a look on the net income across the Netflix, 1.3 billion US dollar 1 year before, 1.53, right? That means 1 quarter before is very bad. Forget about that. Right? Forget about from last October to December. That is exceptional bad, right? Forget about that, right? But if we compare to 1 year before, still not good as 1 year before. And then we take a look on the asset, right? Then I especially put the red arrow next to it so you can see that. For the total current assets, still okay, right? For 10.4 billion US dollar, and then for the total liability is 27.66 billion US dollar, and then for the total asset, a lot of asset comes from what? Comes from the content asset. You can see that I put the red arrow, the upper one, is for the content asset. A lot of asset money came from the content asset. That means for a lot of the movie that they have the patent, they pay for the patent, right? They pay for the patent. They have the right to let you watch it on the TV, on the mobile phone, whatever. They bought the rights. Before then, they bought some rights from Disney or from other movies. So there's a lot of money is because of the content asset. You can see that is 32 billion US dollar, and then total asset is just 49, right? 10 is from the current asset, and then 32 is from the content asset, right? I have to admit that worth money because there is the patent, right? But it's like that, right? That means then you have to buy the company or buy the content from her. Then you can have this money, have these figures transfer into a real money. Otherwise, it's just the numbers. So I put a question mark here. Because the net cash provided by the operation activity, right, is very high. You can see that 21 billion US dollar. Sorry, there's a phone call coming and then I just stop it. Right. So we can see that for this net cash provided by the operating activity, 21 billion US dollar, it seems good, right? It seems fine. Because 1 quarter before just 4.4, and even 1 year before it's just 9.2. So where does this money come from? The money come from what? Come from the content assets, right? So if we take away those content assets, then it just may be much less, or just something like 1 year before. So be very careful on that, right? And then because I don't think that they should, because what we count is for the net cash provided, right? That's not the cash, right? And then they do the adjustment because I pay this money. Then I think it's not a good pace for them to put the content asset into that position. It will make you think that then it is a cash, but it is a cash unless what? Unless you sell it out, or unless your company is closed. Otherwise, you won't sell the patent outright because you have to maintain your business. So very careful on that. Then we can see that for all the areas, right, the increment is adjusted. Then because of that, right, they adjust it. So you can see that for global, they still have 8% increment on the non-GAAP after the adjustment, right? So not reflecting the real thing, right? So that's what it is. So be very careful on examining the financial report. And if like that, then I still do not think that Netflix is recovering. Right? It just recovered a little bit after last quarter is very bad. But for bending for the password and putting back the advertisement into the programs, will it help a lot on Netflix? I don't know. I don't think so actually, unless Netflix have a big revolution, because we can see that there is a lot of streaming now among the whole world. Disney is losing money, cutting the people, right? Disney is still okay because I subscribed to Disney Plus before, right? A lot of choices now, not only for Netflix, right? So we still have to observe how it goes, right? So don't be too happy at the time first, right? It just recovered a little, but will not be fully recovered. I think that unless Netflix get a big revolution on the income structure, right? Okay, thanks guys for watching, and then if you like this video, then please give us a like, comment or share, and then please help to subscribe and then press the bell icon. So whenever there is any video uploaded, you will get the information from YouTube. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope everyone have a very happy weekend. See you next week. Bye bye.